a leader's change too, as in also how to implement the change within your team, your organization, or even in your life. Now, if you've been following along, you probably remember my how to lead through change, the change you want, don't want, or thought you wanted professionally or personally. Now, that change, when I spoke about that, was how to enhance your personal leadership and work-life harmony through change. This is how to actually implement change professionally and throughout your life. So we first start with the C, and that's how to lead through the things you can control and you can't control. The H, how to honor feedback. The A, how to accept and anticipate change and challenges. The N, how to nurse yourself and others. The G, growth and evolution. Growth doesn't always mean evolution, so we have to have both. And lastly, the E is expectations. There has to be some expectations that you and I and we as leaders hold and maintain through change, or else we could be going any direction and anything will do. And that's not the case in leadership. So let's go back and start with the C of change, the things you can control and the things that you can't. Now, there will be times professionally on your team and throughout your company where you as the leader are given the green light. I was just speaking with a woman who was recently promoted, and I said, what's been the biggest adjustment for you? And she said, not only making the decision, but following through with the change of the decision. So when you have the green light, here's the formula. You want to be able to brainstorm. You want to be able to then collaborate, implement, collaborate, fine-tune, and repeat. Let's go through them very, very briefly and notice collaboration is the only word that's in there twice. When you have complete control, brainstorm some great ideas. However, one of the most dangerous things in the world as a leader is to only be walking around with your idea rattling around in your brain and then moving forward with it. Maybe that idea is great in theory, but not in application for those that will be using it or purchasing it. So it's great in your head, but those people on your front line that are going to be doing it, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't really work. Your customer or client that would buy it doesn't want it that way. So brainstorm some ideas, but then collaborate with the right people of how to use it and what to tweak. Then you want to implement it. And that sounds very simple, but I promise you that it's not. I'm sure that you've sat in 17 meetings about the same thing and nothing has ever happened. That's not what leaders do, and that's no longer what you will do. So implement what you've brainstormed and collaborated about. Then we want to go back to collaboration. Because is what you are implementing working? Is it winning? Is it matching your definition of a win? Is it creating wins in another direction that you didn't expect or anticipate? Is it worth continuing, scrapping? So now that you've collaborated again, it's time to fine-tune. Fine-tune it to be an even greater idea, making it and your leadership elite. And then repeat the process. That's how you do it when you can control a situation. The next is the things you can't control. There will be times, and I know that you've experienced as a leader, where you've walked into a meeting and a boss higher than you has said, this is where we're going and this is what we're doing. And you may think it's the worst idea in the world or disagree wholeheartedly. However, choo-choo, the train has left the station. Get on board. You may have received this in an email and now must deliver this news to your team with a smile. So it's so important that when you can't control something, this is what we do. We, number one, want to inform your people about it. Be transparent of what's happening when it's happening. Then you, we as leaders must educate. Educate your people and your team on why it's good for them, why it's good for the organization, and why it's going to be great for the customer or client receiving your services and expertise. You then want to train your people. you've informed them, you've educated them, it does not mean that they know what the heck to do. So now train them on how to be great at it. So are you doing the training? Is there an in-house training? Is there an out-of-house training? Is there a webinar? Whatever it is, make yourself available to train the individuals that will do it. And that may be including you. Lastly, is to follow through. It's a great sign and mark of leadership. Can you follow through on things that you didn't like, that you thought was the dumbest idea in the world in the boardroom, and your idea lost? Can you follow through on that and be elite? That's leadership and how to lead through change with the C.